Good morning. My name is Brandie Crump with Urban Teacher Center at Leslie University, and today I am interviewing Idris Raja on a persuasive piece that he has recently written. Today, Idris, we're just going to ask you just a couple questions about what you were writing and what your thought process was. So first of all, can you tell me, do you feel like you're prepared for 8th grade English class this coming school year?
Yes, I do believe I'm prepared because over the course of the summer, I've tried my best to overcome the obstacles that has stopped me from doing my best last year.
What were those obstacles?
Like, I had problems with, writing long essays and reading a lot.
Why did you have problems with long essays and reading a lot?
Because I really didn't know, the essay process and how to make reading books fun.
So what helped you get over that? What helped improve you?
What helped me improve my obstacles was that over the summer I had to write an essay for high school, and then in Miss Michael's class, we had to read a book.
Okay. So tell me about your writing habits in your personal life. Do you like to write anything, whether it's poetry or lyrics or raps or reflections? Do you like to write in your own time or not really?
I like when I'm really tired, I like to write poetry and express my feelings.
And so do you feel like writing on your own time, expressing your feelings, differs from the actual school essay?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're getting better with the other one, right? All right, so I want to talk about this persuasive piece that you wrote. Give me just a little bit of background about what it was about and what the assignment was.
Well, the assignment was to write a persuasive essay or letter to someone in our community who we think can make a change. So I wrote to a drug dealer, and inside, when I thought about it, it made me feel about things that I was saying in the past and how I wanted to make a change and how I think we could do better.
Why do you think a drug dealer could make a change in the community?
Because drug dealers, if they are intelligent enough if they're smart enough to sell the drugs and then leave, they're smart enough to stop doing drugs and selling them and get a decent education.
Okay. So what were you trying to persuade the drug dealer? So let's start. What's one change that you want to see in your community?
Well, I would like to see kids off the street, and I would like to see better stores and houses.
So what were you trying to persuade the drug dealer to do?
I was trying to persuade the drug dealer to stop and support others.
To stop what?
To stop selling drugs and doing drugs, and to support others.
Support others to do what?
To encourage them to do the right thing instead of what he's doing, he or she is doing.
To think about the community bigger than just himself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So on this, I love how you express your feelings. It's very evident that you write in your free time because you have a strong voice in your writing. We scored you a 3 on this because the lesson was on ethos, pathos, and logos. And so you incorporated some elements of that, but you didn't develop them. So you stirred up emotions to make us understand what was going on, but there were no elements of you're trying to persuade the drug dealer to stop doing anything, right? Do you have any lines in here that show me how you told the drug dealer to stop doing something? Can you find one for me? No? All right, so do you remember what ethos, pathos, and logos is?
Yeah. Ethos is when you can appeal to the character who you're speaking to.
Okay, ethos. Appealing to the audience.
Yeah.
All right? So you're making yourself credible. So you're establishing yourself as a writer. And so why were you credible enough to write this?
Because I was credible because I've been living in that community for about my whole life.
Okay.
And all my life I've seen a lot of things that made me feel are we really like that?
Good. So the ethos is that you live in that community, so you're worthy enough to write the letter to the drug dealer. Okay. Pathos. What's our pathos?
Pathos is appealing to the emotion.
Appealing to emotion. So when you appeal to emotion, what are you doing?
You're like expressing your feelings and trying to persuade, using your feelings to persuade the audience to do something.
Good. You're expressing your feelings. You want them to understand how you're feeling to hopefully evoke emotion, right? To feel bad, to feel good, to feel sad, to feel happy. All right? And logos. What's our logos?
Logos is when you appeal to logic. It has to make sense and be logically enough.
You're spot on. Right? Like you can't ask somebody to make, I don't know, to write a paper with no paper, right? I don't know. Maybe you can. But it has to make sense, right? It has to be something that can actually be done or viable. So, because I scored you a 3 on this, the emotion was very high, but if the drug dealer were to actually read this, they might say, okay, I see the pathos in it, but you're not telling me what I should do. So that's what I want you to take your writing to the next step. So you've already convinced us that you know what's going on in your community. You've convinced us that it's not right. The next step is, so here's what I want you to do. So what I want you to do, Idris, here's one little quick strategy that I want you to use to help you to develop that. So make just a quick chart, 3 columns, label 1 column ethos, 1 column pathos, and 1 column logos. So we've already established that we know the definitions of those. So this is a brainstorming tactic. So next time you're asked to write a persuasive paper, if you separated it in 3 different columns, that would ensure that you hit every single target, right? So you might have a list this long for ethos, and you're like, oh, I got it. But you have to come back to your logos or your pathos and say, I have to balance that, because that makes it most persuasive. So just take 2 seconds. I want you to jot down, skim your letter. You can use shorthand, and I just want you to jot down a couple of the lines that will fall in each category. So you don't have to start with the first line, but for example, when I walk outside and see you trying to make money, I feel your pain. Where might that fall? Ethos, pathos, or logos? Why?
Because ethos.
Could be either.
It's ethos because I'm appealing to the character. I'm telling them how I can.
You're relating to them, right? Good. So, but also like when you walk outside. When you walk outside implies what? You walk outside your door, you're where? At home, in your community, right? So if you walk outside here at Penn State, you're not in your community where that drug dealer is, right? So I like that. You're right. So the ethos is your credibility. So go ahead, jot that down. When you walk outside, that's what you said to him. I can't walk outside my house without seeing you out there. And what's your ethos?
Ethos?
Your pathos.
Oh, pathos is like, I feel your pain.
Okay, jot that down. So go ahead and skim your letter and find an evidence of logos that you might have.
We can make a change.
Okay, we can make a change, that's logic, but how would you be able to make a change? What's something that you can tell the drug dealer? What's a proven fact? If the drug dealer keeps selling drugs, what can happen? What are some outcomes?
People can get brain damage.
People can get brain damage, okay? So that's other people. Let's take it a little bit more personal. If you're trying to really convince somebody to stop doing something, don't you think that sometimes people care about themselves?
Yeah.
So why is the drug dealer selling drugs?
Because maybe it makes him feel it gives him pleasure, or maybe he just wants the money.
Probably wants money, right? He probably needs the money. Okay, drug dealer. You're selling drugs because you need money. So, is selling drugs legal or illegal? It's illegal, right? So what's a logical thing to tell somebody that's doing something illegal? If you keep doing this that's illegal, what can happen to them? Go to jail. Does anybody want to go to jail? Good. So do you think that that's a persuasive fact that can go into your letter? Because you did a great job talking about you and me and the community, but I want you to bring it back to the drug dealer. I want you to say, hey, you might not care about the streets getting messed up. You might not care about the young boys that are doing things, but what you do care about is yourself, right? So tell your drug dealer, there's your logo. Say, you keep doing this, you could go to jail for a long time. Does that make sense? When you've written before with your teachers, have you ever done like a web? Like where you like put something in the middle, like drug dealer, and then put your ideas around it?
Oh,
yeah, web, right? So this is a similar type of web. So this kind of just scatters your ideas everywhere. You're just filling different things. This chart will help you to put the 3 different categories in place. You understand?
Yeah.
So you've already written this, so you can extract the information and put it here. But when you write next time, if a teacher asks you to persuade somebody using all 3, do you think this method will help you to lay out each column so you know what goes where?
Yeah.
And then you can formulate it, right? I think that using a method like this, and maybe even if you numbered it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and gave 5 reasons for each, I think it would ensure that you've covered each category, right? Because here you covered your pathos, you covered your ethos, you just didn't have any logos, right? But that's because you could have forgotten. But now that you have logos there, it makes you say, okay, Idris, I gotta fill in that category, right? Do you think this is something that you might use going forward to help you with persuasive writing? How did it help you?
It helped me because it gave me a new strategy that could enhance my writing skills. And
it's like writing before writing, right? So pre-writing, just getting your ideas together, which is a very important stage, is drafting. Cool? I think you did a really good job with the letter, and I think you did an even better job accepting the feedback. And when you rewrite this, I know that you're going to convince that drug dealer on an even higher scale, like, okay, I see what he's trying to say. Got it? Thank you for the interview. I appreciate it. This is about all the questions I had for you. Thank you very much, and I wish you the best of luck in 8th grade. I know you're going to be great. Thank you.